Hi, my name is Angelo Lopez. Today, I have the great honor to be speaking to Ellen Forbes and Pat Kinney. The three of us are part of a film group at First Presbyterian Church that explores faith issues in movies. Today, we'll be talking about our film group as well as our love of movies. So, thank you both for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Oh, sure. Thanks. So, okay. Let me start with my first question. Um, Now, I've only been in the group for I think a year and a half, and stuff. And I'm just curious, how did this group start? And I guess a second question, how did you two fall in love with movies?
Well, I can tell how it started because I started
Oh,
it. um, a long time ago in the late 90s, we
oh,
had a member of our church named Stan Grams who studied about covenant groups within churches.
oh,
And he spent a year or two just investigating the topic. And finally, he was ready to have sort of a training session with us and to see, if this is something our church might be interested in. And I attended the training, and so did a woman who was attending the church because she had known Dean, or still knew Dean, my husband, from work.
oh.
And she hadn't joined the church and never did, but she said to me after the training, "Why don't we start a film group?" And I said, "Oh, I could never do that." So, so naturally, I thought about it a little while and well, we might.
Oh,
So we spread the word that this was a possibility. And by the way, covenant groups have four elements:
yeah, I was
uh,
going to ask about that.
mission, study, sharing, and a commitment to attend.
Okay.
And so um, we publicized it, and there were a handful of people in the church. And the first time we ever met was we borrowed a TV set, which was a big thing.
Oh,
There weren't many TVs around the church, but we
yeah.
had a TV set in the chapel, and we watched The Mission.
Mm.
And
Robert De Niro? Robert De Niro, is that the one?
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's old. And then one of the other early ones was Romero, because
Oh,
Arlene Schaup, a member at the time, had
yeah.
a copy of that. And we had talked about having that movie, and she said, well, just separately from that discussion, she had mentioned that she had a copy of it. So that was back in the days of video shops,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So we showed both of them, and I my first notes to what would become a film group are in 2000,
Yeah.
and uh, um, there were 11 people on one group, and then there were 8 more who had expressed interest.
Oh, wow.
So that's my little story.
So this is sort of a labor of love for you for all these years, the film
Yeah,
group.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's very fulfilling.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I like it.
yeah, yeah.
And I've been through, like, I think maybe 4 or 5 sets of co-leaders.
Oh,
My first co-leader was John Baer,
Mm.
and was the second one uh, the
Jim
Stanford
Gibbs.
professor?
Jim
Jim
Gibbs.
Gibbs, yes.
Yeah. Well,
And then
Polly the, I
Polly
remember she
was
was,
the very first. Yeah,
yeah.
the woman that I
Yeah.
started the group with was first. And then John and Jim. And I guess maybe Shirley and
Shirley
uh,
and Jeff for a long
Jeff
time. Yeah.
took over, and they were a long
oh,
time. And now it's Angelo.
I love the group so far. It's a great group, and I think I think the thing is I'm still kind of new, but all of the movies that we watched, I loved
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, and stuff, but for very different reasons and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, very different.
yeah, did you fall in love because of the film group, or did you fall in love with movies before the film?
I always liked movies. I mean, I didn't go to that many as a kid, but when I started dating, of course, I did. Pat, what about you?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of came to the film group a slightly different way. So, um, I had come to the church when my kids were very little, looking for Sunday school and whatever experience. And so most of my first 15 years there had to do with Sunday school or youth group or confirmation class or whatever. And pretty much the only other adults I knew were fellow parents, and there were a number of us. It was a good group. No, but when they both went away to college, I thought I could do something adult. I could do something on a weekday evening. All these things, this whole new life was open to me.
Yeah.
And we still have something called In Gathering, kind of right at the beginning of September, where we start the program year, and we used to have the different covenant groups would maybe have tables, and the film group had one, and um, it was John and Judy Zlotnick, who were quite outgoing, both former teachers, collared me because I was kind of looking and said, "Oh, you should come and talk me into it." And I thought, well, why not? I don't know a lot about film. I like to go to the movies now and then, but I thought, well, I'll try it. And so that was 2003. So it's
Yeah.
22 years. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you
So
love?
it's more for me. It was I mean, the reason to maybe have covenant groups in a church is that that's how you really get to form friendships and connections with people, not just sitting in the pews with them. And
Yeah.
um, so, yeah, I met lots of very interesting people and new friends that I wouldn't have known. And
Yeah.
so, and I, I've my role has been kind of running the elections where we figure out what movies we're going to watch the next season. We meet 8 times a year, so we have an election in the spring about what we're going to do,
Yeah.
and also a lot of the publicity for the website and whatever.
Oh,
So, anyway.
okay. Yeah.
So I say in the website, I think that the film group's very much like a book club in that I mean, we no longer all watch it together. We each, as Ellen said, we've evolved from, video cassettes to DVDs to streaming, but somehow we watch it and then we come together to discuss it.
Yeah.
And like a book group too, it's like, you know, one reason to join a book club is to learn about other books you would have never heard of. It's the same thing with the film group. I'm
Yeah.
always amazed at some of the films that people come up with to watch that I've never heard of, probably would have never watched, but was really, really glad that I was able to.
Some
Yeah.
of these people are real film buffs.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious. I just want to make sure I understand. So a covenant group is a group within a church where members of church can meet each other in a smaller setting. Is that, am I right? Or,
With
Mhm.
some interest in common,
oh,
something in
okay.
common, commonality of
Oh,
interest. Yeah.
okay. Now, Pat, I just curious. Did you love film before the film group, or did you
Well,
start loving film after?
I like film.
Or...
I think I've learned a lot about film and history and different directors and whatever. So I've learned that sort of as being part of the film group rather than just, you
Yeah.
know, going to see whatever film is at the Aquarius or the
Oh,
Stanford or
yeah. Oh, okay. 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 Well, here, let me ask my next question. Our group doesn't just study film, but we study faith issues in film and stuff. For both of you being in this group, why are movies such good venues for studying faith issues?
Well, I think like novels or, classic literature, or any current books.
Yeah.
I think they can explore ethical and philosophical and sometimes even religious themes within a context that's easy for us to put ourselves into.
Yeah.
Um, it might be, some are contemporary and are uh, about people like us. We can actually imagine that we could possibly be in that situation, but
Yeah.
others are, you know, a main character is younger than we'll ever be again, or is set in a time or a place that is impossible for us, or it's a fantasy environment. But still, we recognize those universal issues, I think. So um, it, it it's the universality of the issues, I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think film, as opposed to maybe just reading, um, kind of captures more senses. I mean, there's the whole visual thing. There's usually music that's
Yeah.
noticeable or not noticeable, but it adds to the experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes, for me, sometimes, it's easier to visualize and what's going on, especially if it's like something that's set in a foreign setting that I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
I mean, I find that part of it fascinating too, and also just
Yeah.
different directors film things differently. And
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Sequential or not,
yeah,
and that
yeah.
sort of. Mm.
Or we just finished watching a film set in Tokyo that
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so struck by the camera work. It was like so many of you could have stopped it at any point and had a beautiful scene. It was, uh,
Yeah.
and, very carefully plotted out. And that added to it.
Yeah. Well, that movie, I was struck by both the visuals and just how the music, the choice of songs they pick really added to the
Oh,
movie.
that's true. That
You
was a
know?
very big part of that. I'd forgotten. Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
some people in the group who often are really fascinated with the music, and it's something I don't as often focus on. So it's good for me to hear what they have noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a documentary on film composers and stuff, but like Jaws,
Oh,
once you hear the first, or, like Casablanca, you know, sometimes when you hear a music, you just think of the movie when you hear the music,
right,
right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, okay.
And music. I like music myself. It can touch you in a different way, and maybe that helps with the faith issues too, I think, maybe because
Mhm,
you're kind of trying to look at the movie a little more deeply than maybe just as an entertainment
mhm,
for a couple of hours.
Yeah. I think one of the things I love about is we often fall in love with the characters. So what happens to the characters affects us and stuff. So if they're put in a situation, we relate to the characters because we just like them so much. That's not always true. Some of the movie characters are not as likable,
Mhm.
but if you like, what was the movie we saw with the it's set in Africa where this would-be minister falls in love and stuff, and he wants to make a church. I really like that
oh
character.
my
And
gosh,
I
yes,
forget,
that one
yeah,
was so powerful.
yeah. I forgot the name of the movie though, but
Right, I am too. Seems
yeah,
like it has an A in it. But
yeah, yeah.
yes, that
I
was
think that was
amazing.
Oscar's movie and stuff. I love that movie. It's just yeah. What's the name of that? I think it's just the likability of the character helps us, through his struggles. We learn about faith and stuff. So, oh, okay, okay. Well, okay. There. I'll ask my next question and stuff. Okay, does a movie have to be explicitly religious to explore faith issues?
Not at all. In fact, when people ask me, or when I just am telling them about the group, I say we almost never watch overtly religious films. But then I actually looked at the wonderful list of 225 movies that Pat has put together for us.
Yeah,
And there's about 10% or even more, um, where religion plays a very important role.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was surprised it was that high, but
Wow.
no, most of ours have nothing to do with religion.
Oh, okay. It's just I remember your second movie was Romero, right? So
Yeah, and the mission, and there are some,
yeah.
Elmer Gantry and Defending Your Life, and Footnote. There are several really good ones about Judaism
Oh,
and
okay.
uh, Israel, life in Israel. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Is there any specific you guys love, or that specifically religious movies you guys love, or no?
I don't know. I
but
was thinking I had the same response that no, it's not even once a season that we have something explicit, except that in November we're discussing conclave, which is about choosing a new pope.
right.
So I would say that's on that kind of list. So
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
we
was thinking,
watched the two popes a couple of years ago, and I
Uh,
really, really enjoyed that one. So,
yeah,
it just depends. But,
yeah. I
there are a
was
lot
thinking,
of other faith issues like faith and
yeah.
maybe not necessarily in God, but faith in your fellow persons or faith in justice will prevail or hope or transformation,
Transformation is a big one.
transform
Yeah,
what's the word I'm looking for? Redemption.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I,
just
I,
various ethical issues about living a good life. And
yeah. I was thinking of Woman Talking. I really
oh
like
yeah,
oh,
that
women
movie.
talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that
did
was more
watch
of a,
that.
yeah, that was a critique of religion, right? I guess as
yeah.
well, of
But it
patriarchy.
was religion played a big role in it,
Yeah.
so
Hmm. Yeah,
counts for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sort of a sucker for redemption movies because I always feel like, in my life I've made mistakes that I really wish I could redeem and stuff. So when I watch a redemption story, it gives me hope and stuff.
Oh,
Well, it's interesting you should say that because the one religious movie that I'm thinking about is Amazing Grace,
Oh, okay.
and it's about the man who wrote the hymn. He
Oh,
was
oh, okay.
a slave trader
Oh,
and how his life turned around.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that a long ago movie? I don't remember watching that. Is that?
Oh, it's 2006.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Well, here. Next subject and stuff. In this Donald Trump era, are there any movies that you both like that deal with maintaining faith while resisting authoritarianism?
Um, yeah, I went back and um, looked at some of the names. There are a lot about the Holocaust, several, I should say.
Okay.
Um, Gandhi,
Oh,
mhm,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Divided We Fall was during World War II. The Year of Living Dangerously, you would know all about that one.
yeah.
Um, so um, I don't know that it's a man for all seasons,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know, um,
Yeah,
in
when I was
troubled times.
confirmed, that movie, I was kind of fishy because, and when you get confirmed in the Catholic Church, you're supposed to find a saint, right? And that week that I was deciding, they happened to be playing A Man for All Seasons, so I
Mhm.
picked Thomas More,
Yeah.
just because of the coincidence of that movie and stuff. But it's a good story too and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing, kind of looked at that long list. It's getting so long. Um, but I remember Bonhoeffer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um, we watched Selma
oh
and
yeah.
Belfast. Um, there was another woman movie. My Name is Polly Murray. I was pretty
Oh yeah.
inspired by her. And then there's another one that I really like, If Beale Street Could Talk, just
Oh
about
yeah.
maybe not the political situation, but people who are living in a
Kind of.
oppressed situation.
That's the one. Who's the writer? James Baldwin. It's
Hmm.
based on the
Yeah.
James Baldwin.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay, okay, yeah. I
I
saw that in the theater. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am not your
I
neighbor.
nominated it.
Oh, you, oh.
I agreed. We do have a rule in our for our nominations that you have to have seen the movie first, which I think is really important because,
Yeah.
some movies sound like they're going to be great, and then when you see them, they're not so great, or they're not good to, good for, they're entertaining, but they're not good for discussion.
Uh,
So we do kind of require that people have seen it and said, yes, this is a film group movie. So
yeah. It's the other thing that's an issue, access to the movie. Some of the movies I like, but I can't find it on streaming and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
has been a problem, and especially when we were just kind of moving into streaming, and some people had
Yeah.
it and some didn't, and um,
Well, right now we have at least one person who doesn't do Netflix. And so it's
Oh,
seeing a lot of them are a problem for her.
that's the ethical issue. What's the ethical
No,
issue?
I mean, it's just, you were talking about the ability to find
Oh, yeah.
movies to
Okay.
access
although
them.
one thing I like about film group over the years, because I know this woman that she's talking about gets together with other people that have Netflix, and then they watch the movie in a
Yeah.
small group.
Mhm.
And I used to be in sort of a small group of people I would get the DVD from the library and
Yeah.
watch it and then pass it along. There were about three or four of us, and we'd all pass it all around. And you go to church the week before film group was coming on, and everyone's saying, "Have you seen the film yet?" And so it wasn't like just that 2 hours. It kind of expanded into a week of your life involved with this film. So
Fellowship.
fellowship, yes.
And it fulfills the mission of the covenant group, right? You just, and doing all that, you just get to know each other better.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like for me, it's been a year. I love you guys, but I think I'm only starting to get to know you now and stuff. Partially just by listening to your conversations when you talk about films and stuff, because listening to your opinions helps me form a better picture of who you are and stuff.
Yeah, it's really good about uh, giving you insight into the person.
Yeah, yeah. Have you guys made new friends because of the group or?
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay. 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 So, okay. Great.
The other thing, I mean, I think the first movie that I saw was the Weeping Camel,
Mm.
Oh,
Mhm.
and I couldn't believe the diversity of people in the group and how well traveled and knowledgeable they were. But
yeah.
Ellen shows up with all these pictures of yurts that she stayed in through the years, and Donna shows up with this whole story about getting married on camels and her various experiences with camels. And then it was a documentary
Yeah.
about, it was based on a true incident, but it was a documentary. So then we got into this discussion of how true to the facts do you have to be, or can how far can you massage them to make it a better story or whatever? And
Yeah.
and Jim Gibbs starts talking about, well, when I made my documentary about this tribe in Liberia, I had this issue, and he weighed in, and I was like, oh my gosh, all these people, all they've done. I want to get to know them more. So,
Yeah. I remember when we did the talk on that, there was a movie where a man was trying to steal a Goya painting and stuff.
The
oh
Duke.
right,
Yeah, and people were talking about their time in London,
Yeah.
and this and that. Having never lived in London and stuff, I was really fascinated by that and stuff. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, I loved it, and I think when we did that talk on the Oscars movie on Africa, Ellen, didn't you used to live in Africa for a while, or?
My husband did.
Oh,
And we've been to like 24 countries in Africa. We
oh,
focused on Africa a lot
okay,
in
okay,
our travels.
okay. Was that for like a missionary thing, or is it just for his job?
No, he was in the Peace Corps,
Oh, okay, okay.
but we just like Africa.
Oh, okay. No, I've never been there and stuff, but it sounds like a fascinating place.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. Well, okay. Now, we've done quite a we've watched both okay, speaking of Africa, we've watched both foreign movies as well as American movies. Um, are there any special um, way, do foreign movies explore faith issues differently than American movies?
Well, there's at least one person in our group who could give you a real good answer to that.
Oh, okay.
Uh, um, Margaret, but because she really knows her genres and her you know, French movies and Japanese movies and
Oh,
different ones. Um, I just looked at the list and I don't feel like I'm in a position to judge foreign movies against any category. But like Chocolat was sort of, what do they call it? Mystical realism,
oh no, no, magic realism, isn't it? Magic.
magic realism. Yeah.
Yeah,
And, you can't say all French movies are magical realism for that, but we
yeah.
had some others. I think the French just have a different sensibility, and I don't know how to describe it. Um, we've had several films about Israel, and those are
Oh,
interesting. They're sort of straightforward as I see it. They just put it right out there.
oh,
And Babette's Feast was dark and quiet, and I can't say that all Danish movies are that way, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the movie we just watched, Perfect Days, that's a
yeah,
very different type of movie. It's a very
yeah,
contemplative movie and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
I was thinking, I mean, and kind of tying in the question, do they have to do with religion? Because another film that I nominated and led was Kundun, which is
Mhm.
about the search for the Dalai Lama. And
Oh,
so, I mean, you just learned a lot about Tibetan Buddhism and the traditions. And I
yeah.
was looking up, there was another one, Departures, that
Oh,
was set
yes.
in Japan, and it was about preparing bodies for corpses, for burial and dealing with
Oh,
the family, and it's just a different
That's
faith, a different religion, and different customs, and so in that sense, I think that's one thing I like because I like learning about different cultures and different ways of doing things. So,
yeah. And they
that's one
also
of the
sound like,
movies that I recommend to people who haven't been in our faith group. It's an interesting film.
oh, okay.
Departures with an S.
Oh,
departures, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, to me,
I
they
didn't
sound like
recognize.
movies that you'd never see an American studio make and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, American movies, of course, want to make big bucks
Yeah,
often.
yeah, yeah. I guess there's not that much, I guess foreign movies had the luxury of a smaller audience, I guess, and stuff. So actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure and stuff because I always wonder when I first saw my first Indian movie and stuff. I was kind of amazed. Lots of music. It just had a very different feel and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah. So okay, okay. Well, here, we have 9 minutes for this first video. So let me ask one more question. And if we don't finish talking about it, we can switch over to the next video and stuff. So okay. So as well as foreign movies, we've watched a lot of comedies, right? Are there any
Um,
special? Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
We might have gotten more since you've been in the group because the times have gotten darker and we've needed them more.
Yeah. Yeah. But are there any from the comedies that we did watch? Is there anything special about comedies that are there any special faith lessons that a comedy can teach? Actually, what comedies have we watched?
Well, there was the station agent,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
a comedy,
yeah,
but it had lots of issues in it too. So I don't
yeah,
know, it kind of just lightens the mood sometimes. And as Ellen pointed out, we have often kind of gotten off into dark terrible things happening in Rwanda and the Holocaust and this and that, and sometimes it's nice to just have a sort of a fun movie and
Yeah.
kind of lightens the discussion and still stuff comes out, I
Yeah.
think.
One
I
that
think,
I nominated was The Good Lie,
oh,
and it is about what do they call them? The Lost Boys of Uganda or Rwanda?
Mm.
oh,
No, the Lost Boys of Sudan. And
Oh,
these,
right,
the
Sudan.
two main actors are really Lost Boys of Sudan. They are the men who endured this suffering and got away. And um, it's it's very humorous because it's all about their inexperience with Western ways
Oh,
and things
yeah.
mm.
like a bunk bed.
Yeah.
What? You know, they're used to sleeping on the floor. What's that thing for? And a phone. Oh gosh, a phone.
Yeah.
It's ringing. What do we do?
Yeah. I don't think I've
So,
seen that one. Was that an old?
oh, it's good. It's Reeve Witherspoon. Is that her name?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very good.
Oh, okay. The one I thought it was kind of funny was the one I mentioned before about the guy who was planning to steal the Goya
Oh, the
painting.
Oh,
Duke.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, I just can't remember the name of it, but yeah, I thought it was funny, but it was funny in a British way. It
Yeah.
had sort of British understated humor about it.
Right. And the main character, the father,
Yeah.
in testimony in the trial was just great. I mean, it's so British.
Yeah, yeah. I felt like I was watching in the 50s. They used to have these British comedies. I forgot what they were called. With
Oh, right.
Peter's, yeah, yeah, with well, what's his name? Yeah, I forgot the name of them and stuff. But they were really funny, but they were very understated and stuff. But I always assumed that that's the sort of the way the British are and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, so it's cool and stuff. So, oh, okay, okay. So, yeah, I'm going to try to recommend a few more comedies for our group and stuff. I,
Good.
the one that we're going to watch right now, Meet John Doe. The first part is a comedy and stuff, but the second part, it's a Frank Capra movie, so there's always a
Hmm.
little bit of humor in Capra and stuff, but there's also a lot of drama. So I don't know if I don't know, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It's
Hmm.
like that, but
Hmm.
it's a little darker at the end and stuff. So.
Another one we saw, there have been years when um, once during the summer, somebody has planned an event where we go with spouses to a theater
Oh,
to watch the film together and then go out to eat together.
yeah.
And one of those we did that with was Up. And
Oh,
that was
Oh,
a
right.
delightful film. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Do we watch a lot of animated films and stuff or no?
We've seen Coco and a few, but not many. Mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay. Up was lovely and stuff. Yeah. And now that yeah, now that I'm getting older now and stuff, so I'm beginning to relate to a lot of its issues. Yeah.
Pat and I would have to chuckle about you're getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
there's quite a few good. You should see the Japanese ones. There's a few Japanese movies that deal with. They're funny, but they're Studio Ghibli. Do you know Studio Ghibli? It's um it's this famous Japanese filmmaker, but his name slips my mind now. I'll recommend the one of those movies next year and see if you guys like it and stuff. So,
Okay.
okay. Welcome back. I'm relieved you came back. So, and I'm glad you're having fun with our talk too and stuff. I have fun with the film talk, so I'm glad you're having fun with this group talk. Like I tell everybody that my videos don't gain that many views and stuff. So this is not you're not going to have fame and fortune after participating. So, oh, okay. So, okay. Well, actually, we're getting close to okay, Pierre. Um, most of the film group films that we've seen have been in the 21st century, right? The vast majority of them. Are there any classic or older movies that you both like that we've talked about that we the film group has seen that are rich in faith issues?
Well, I don't think we've seen and discussed a couple that of classics that come to mind.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Gentleman's Agreement and To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
But Pat knows what we haven't seen.
I've got it close
Okay.
at hand. I can see it.
Now, Gentleman's Agreement, is that the one
Oh,
about anti-Semitism?
yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And one we watched was about World War II, the best years of our lives.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a really oldie.
Yeah. 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 I haven't seen that movie in years. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking of maybe introduce, Billy Wilder. He's
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna have to watch it again, but The Apartment. I don't know if that's
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
yeah, or maybe you know, yeah, that's probably my favorite Billy Wilder movie. But he's done a ton of great movies, like Some Like It Hot. I like that movie, but I don't know if that movie has faith issues in it and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't strike me as a faith issue film.
Yeah.
I'm looking on the list, I have the dates. There's one, The River from 1951.
Oh,
It was discussed in 2002 to 3, so that was right before I joined, so I don't know.
Well, it was in India, and I think it just was set there, but I don't know that it had
Hmm.
faith issues that I recall.
Oh,
oh,
we watched The Seventh Seal, Bergman.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
We watched Song of Bernadette. It was
Now, what's that one about
1943.
again? Yeah, I don't remember what that's about.
Uh, Bernadette was a saint, as I recall, and
Uh,
it's about her suffering as a saint. As I mean, that was really early, so
Yeah,
uh,
that's been a stretch.
you can remember. Yeah, the other one, like Treasure of the Sierra Madre,
Hmm.
1948. That was early on. And the Tokyo Story we just watched a couple years ago. That's from 1953. That's another Japanese.
yeah.
We
Um,
did watch
Wild Strawberries. So I guess that
oh,
was Don Hildebrand was going through a Bergman phase, I think.
But Bergman's one of those directors that if there's anybody who I don't know faith issues, but spiritual issues, it'd be Bergman and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, we did the Seventh Seal.
Yeah, yeah. I like comedy, so I would. There's a French comedian, Jacques Tati.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know yeah, some of his movies you can say are spiritual and stuff, but I would love to do a Tati movie and stuff. So, yeah, especially
some
since
other French movies I remember being quite interesting, but
Yeah, there's yeah. Bagnol, is that his name?
oh, Buñuel,
Buñuel? Or
yeah,
did I think there's sort of a new one out that's kind of a compilation of two of his about, so I think those I might think about nominating that.
yeah, yeah. We're not going to
Um,
do Hitchcock, are we? Or you know.
Probably no, please, no. Notorious. I don't know. I mean, I think most of my old movies are things I've seen at the Stanford Theater. So,
Yeah,
Cary
yeah.
Grant or,
There's
whatever.
one good Cary Grant where he
Lauren
plays an
Bacall.
angel. Cary Grant plays an angel, and David Niven plays some sort of bishop and stuff. And
Mm.
he and I think the bishop is lost his zest, his spiritual zest, and Cary Grant's this angel who tries to teach him.
Oh,
Uh,
well, that could be interesting.
yeah, but he falls in love with the bishop's wife. It's called The
Oh,
Bishop's Wife, right? So, but so I'll have to
Fallen
watch that again.
Angel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
very
watch it again
charming.
and see whether it would be good.
Yeah. Well, next month will be a test because Meet John Doe, Frank Capra movie. I'm curious to see how that one goes because I mainly nominated that one because somebody wanted to watch a movie about authoritarianism or
Yeah,
fascism.
that's
Mhm.
going to be a perfect choice, I think.
Yeah, and stuff. So, but it's the last of Frank Capra made a trilogy of movies.
Mhm.
What was the one? Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and then Meet John Doe and stuff. And they all they all have these kind of charming characters that are placed in these situations and stuff. And the last one, the background was it was made during the time when the America First I don't know if you know the America First. It was sort of
Yeah.
a movement in the early 40s that,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with
Mhm.
yeah,
Lindbergh and yeah.
Yeah.
Lindbergh and
Mhm.
I think Ford, I guess, and stuff. So if you know the background, you understand the movie a lot better and stuff because
Mm.
it's a direct commentary of that time and stuff. So it was a scary time. So, but there is comedy in it because it's a Capra movie. I don't think there's a Capra movie that doesn't have humor and sentiment, but
Mhm.
he deals with dark subjects in that particular movie and stuff. So that was the movie he made before It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think It's a Wonderful Life is it continues that light dark aspect of Capra and stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah, so but hopefully people will like it and stuff. I'm a big Capra fan and stuff. So
There's another movie that um, there's three or four films that we've seen that all of them are fairly old, but they all are disjointed stories. They're either
oh
one story disjointed or several stories that are blended.
oh
And I really like them. Crash is one, uh,
oh okay
Lantana is another,
Oh,
and Grand Canyon, I think, is another the same way.
oh
oh,
okay.
Grand
right.
Canyon is 1991.
What's that one about?
I just remember it's a mix of stories.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I don't think I've heard of that one and stuff. So
Yeah,
and Lantana.
Lantana. Yeah, that,
Yeah, that might actually have been my very first. And then
you
I Am
know,
the Weekend Camel was shortly after that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
remember Mary Alice leading that. So it made an impression. I came back.
the lantana bush, if you know what a lantana bush looks like, it's got beautiful little blossoms that are either red and yellow or pink and mauve
Sometimes
or
purple, yeah.
blue, little blossoms. But the thing about it is there's so much um, intertwined growth beneath the pretty green and blossoms that you see.
Oh.
You don't see underneath is really a mess. And that's what the theme of this is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty cool.
And my
Yeah.
neighbor actually grew up in Australia and Lantana was set in Australia, I think, if I
Oh,
recall. And
was it?
I and yeah, they grow really big there and they're really, she said she had such awful memories as a kid, like getting tangled in them when she was playing hide and seek or
Oh, yeah.
whatever. She said, I had planted a little one by my gate, and she said, no, 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 get rid of that. Don't, no, no lantana. She had a very visceral reaction to it. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that movie and stuff. So,
yeah.
one of the things that made me really seeing the list of movies you have watched, it is a great list of movies and stuff. I keep thinking like, wow, I haven't seen a lot of these movies, and I kind of want to and stuff. But I know some of the movies just by reputation.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and stuff.
Crash.
Yeah, Crash. Yeah.
Have you seen
Is
it?
that? Yeah.
Hmm.
That was done.
Yeah, there's two movies I wanna recommend, but the problem I have with those movies is I don't know where you can watch it nowadays and stuff. There's a movie called Shall We Dance from the
Oh, yeah.
1990s.
I
I
It's a
think we
remember
did
that.
Japanese
that.
movie. Yeah, Shall We Dance, and there's another one called My Life as a Dog. It's a
Oh, I
it's
think
a
I saw that
Swedish
too.
yeah, it's a Swedish movie where this little boy he has to go to his uncle's house because I think his mom was having a nervous breakdown and stuff. And he follows the news of this dog who goes to space in the 1950s and stuff. It's
Mhm.
a very charming and funny movie, but I watched it and I haven't seen it in 40 years. But I just want to nominate it because I want to watch the movie again, but I just don't know where, I don't know where it streams. I don't know if the libraries have it and stuff, but it's a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the libraries probably have a good many. I think we did see, or I saw My Life as a Dog. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did we watch it?
I don't know. Let me go back to my list here.
Pat, are you sort of the librarian of the group, I
Yeah,
guess?
she is.
Yeah,
No,
I guess
we didn't
so.
discuss it together.
Okay. Yeah, but I will try to do more comedies and stuff. If
Well, you can nominate them and then we'll choose.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't see My Life as a Dog here, but I think I remember seeing it in the film. Leica. Is that the name of the dog?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
And
Some,
that was Bear Ride's dog's name was Leica.
oh,
yeah,
And
yeah.
so,
It's a sweet movie, but there is,
mhm,
and the heart of the movie is there's a sadness about it and stuff. And I thought
yeah.
it'd be good for like, it's a movie about how a child deals with loss
Hmm.
and stuff. So, but I don't know why, but it really had an effect on me when I was a kid, or not a kid, but a teenager and stuff. So, yeah, and I hadn't faced that much loss yet and stuff, but it still
mm.
moved me and stuff. And now I'm married to a Swedish American wife and stuff. It's a Swedish movie, so I'm glad. I want my wife to see it someday and stuff. So, okay, well, okay. My last question and stuff. Um, well, actually, before I do that, what are your favorite movies from the group? Do you have any favorites, or are there just too many?
There's too many for me. Yeah. Once I started going down that list, yeah. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, that one.
Well, the weird, sort of offbeat ones
Yeah,
that I never would have heard of or never would have watched are some of my favorites. Lars and the Real Girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that movie.
yeah, right. And the well, I liked Lady Bird
Yeah,
and Just Mercy, of course. There's so many, but I mean, I liked Crash. I always remember that one.
yeah.
And Departures. So
Was Departures a depressing movie, or was Departures more?
well, it takes a twist.
Oh, okay.
You don't, and that becomes the basis of the rest of the story, a lot of the rest of the story.
Okay. So, okay. Well, here, let me ask my last question. Even though it's look, we were going to do this talk in the summer, but we kept delaying. So I was going to ask you about any summer movies that you would recommend and stuff. But since we're going into fall and stuff, are there first are there any summer movies that you like that you'd recommend? But also, are there any since we're coming up upon autumn and are there any autumn movies that you guys would recommend that you two would recommend?
If we can only recommend ones we've seen, I'm out.
Oh, okay. Or, one of the movies I've always wanted to watch, but I've never seen, but I kept on hearing all my life. I heard the theme song of this movie is A Summer Place.
Oh.
I kept
Yeah.
on hearing the theme song, and I was curious, and I read I read a few reviews. It was actually a very good movie, but it's a teen romance, right? But I kept hearing all my life. I kept on hearing the song, and I was always curious to know what the movie, to watch the movie to see it and stuff. And still, I'm 58, and I still haven't seen it yet and stuff. So I may I don't know if I'll recommend it to our group, but it's one of those movies I want to watch, A Summer Place.
Well, how about the movie that you did go to see by yourself this summer?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't remember what it was.
yeah, I can't remember either. um,
It was by,
Hold on.
by
Let
that
me.
guy. He does a lot of, I
Oh
see
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
visuals.
Wes Anderson.
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
it? The
Yeah.
Phoenician Scheme. It was good, but my favorite Wes Anderson, my two favorite Wes Anderson ones were Grand Budapest Hotel,
Mhm.
the Moonrise Kingdom.
Oh, I love that one. I think
Yeah,
we
Moonrise
discussed that
Kingdom.
one. I think
Yeah,
we did that.
and there's this one, I forgot the name of Rushmore, about this kind of
Oh,
spoiled kid who goes to high school and he doesn't leave and stuff. And he and some wealthy man are fighting for the affections of a teacher, Rushmore and stuff. But that one, I don't know if there's any faith issues in that one, but I just enjoyed that movie. Moonrise Kingdom, there's some there. I can kind of think of some faith issues with that movie and stuff. And Grand Budapest Hotel, it's a movie. It's charming, but at the heart of it, it's a movie against authoritarianism. What happens when when this pseudo-fascist group takes over a country and stuff. So yeah, but yeah. Is that a
oh,
summer
I
movie?
did watch one um this summer. I thought I hadn't seen any movies, but it's because my band, I play in this band, and we did a whole thing on John Williams for the summer. And so
Oh,
there were a
yeah,
lot of the usual Star Wars and Jaws and all that, but he
yeah.
also wrote the music for oh my gosh, it's just The Terminal, which is a
Oh,
Tom Hanks movie.
yeah.
And so I watched it where Tom Hanks is he's from some made up Eastern European country, Krakosia. And when he's flying to New York, there's a coup. And so when he
Oh,
gets to New York, his passport is no longer valid and he can't be recognized. And then Stanley Tucci is the authoritarian guy at the hotel and basically tells him you can just wait here in the international lobby, and that wait ends up being very, very, very long.
oh,
And there's a lot of relationships, and the music is great. It's
yeah,
kind of klezmer music, and
Mm.
um, anyway, so I did watch that just to kind of because I'd heard of it, but I'd never gotten around to watching it. It's kind of charming. It's
yeah.
a bit dated because I think right now, he would have just been sent to Guatemala or something, He wouldn't have
Yeah.
said hang out in the international terminal. But
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I heard it's very charming.
yeah, so anyway,
Yeah.
that's
Another movie that has a good John Williams score is The Accidental Tourist. Have you heard of
oh,
that?
Hmm.
Yeah.
read the
It
book, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the movie first, and then when I read the accident, I became an Ann Tyler fan and stuff. But The Accidental Tourist, it's a wonderful, it's
Hmm.
funny, but it's also sad. But it's a movie full of these eccentric characters, and they're
Mm.
getting over the Ellen. Do you know the plot of that movie?
No.
Okay, well, what happens is the son of this couple gets murdered, and it destroys the marriage of this couple.
Oh, is that Mary Tyler Moore?
Yeah, no, no, no.
No.
That's ordinary people.
Ordinary people.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
right. Okay.
yeah. So, but the accident, it's who's in it? William Hurt, I think.
Yeah, I
So
remember. I can picture the ads for it.
yeah, so his job is he goes to countries for people who don't like to travel. And so he finds places that make you feel like you're still in the United States. And he writes books about it called The Accidental Tourist. And so he's a man who's set on his ways. And actually, this is actually might be a good autumn movie and stuff because it's sort of in the autumn of his life and stuff. But it's a movie where he what does he do? He one day he falls, and his son's dog, he can't control his son's dog, so in crutches he goes to this dog trainer, and the dog trainer falls in love with him and stuff, and it's but she's the exact opposite of he wants an orderly life. She's anything but orderly and stuff, and how this disorderly woman changes his life and stuff. It's a beautiful movie, but am I describing that right, Pat? Or
I can't remember, but that Sounds like I've read quite a few of her books. In fact, I just read one recently. I thought I haven't read her in a long time. But
Yeah.
I remember another one where there was certainly a guy who was very,
Yeah.
very set in his ways. He made chili every Saturday and divided in 7 portions, and that's what he ate every night. And then sort of this relationship starts, but he can't possibly like go out to dinner or have her over because it's going to mess up the chili situation, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it sounds like this is a type that she knows well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
So
sounds like the
I can't remember the name of that one, but that was I read that a long time ago.
yeah.
one who that uh, um, uh, the guy from um, well, um, it starts off with him organizing the bottles or whatever it is in his medicine cabinet, and the soaps in his medicine cabinet. He's so OCD.
Yeah.
Everything has to be exactly right. Um, uh,
Anyway.
Nicholson, Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. Movies about characters who have OCD tend to be very charming movies. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Well, they're so strange. They're sort
Yeah.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
charming, charmingly
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah. Because I think about it and stuff. Yeah. There's quite a few movies I know about characters with that kind of disorder and stuff. But for whatever reason, the people around them make them break out of their box and stuff. And I find that very charming and stuff.
Mhm,
That's a formula that never gets old and stuff. So
mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Now,
stuff.
I'm looking at Fandango to see what is playing now, and it has the movie Hamilton. Is that really out and on screen
I
in
guess if it's
theaters?
in Fandango, it probably is then and stuff. I've never actually seen the play and stuff, but I hear it's good
Well,
It's
I
very
saw the
good.
play, but I haven't. I would like to see the movie too, if it's really out
with
there.
the original cast.
Oh, I doubt that. No. Lin-Manuel has moved along, I think.
Okay, okay. Yeah, he's wonderful and stuff. Oh,
He is.
have you
Yeah.
done musicals or no?
Yeah. Yeah. Um he wrote one about like New
Went
York.
in the Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Oh,
no, in our film group, are
in
you
our film
asking?
group,
I
have we
don't think
done
we really
musicals?
have
Oh, okay.
done musicals.
No,
Okay.
we haven't uh,
Okay.
gone for them per se.
Okay.
Coco had a lot of music in it, but I don't know that it would be called a musical.
Yes. Oh, okay. 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 Well, okay. Well, I have one movie I'd recommend, but I don't know if it's a faith issue. The Bad News Bears?
Mm-hmm.
It's
I know what it's about, but I
yeah.
haven't seen it.
I'm just thinking a summer movie and stuff. That's a good summer movie to watch and stuff. But the other one I can think of is Jaws, but I don't know if
No, I don't
Not,
want to see
not
Jaws.
for everybody's taste.
yeah, but when I think of Jaws, I think
In
of the
our
summer.
in our concert, so there one of the pieces was like, a tribute to John Williams, and it had, 5 or 6 different things, excerpts. So when we got to the Jaws part, the last rehearsal, our conductor says to one of the women in the percussion section, "Well, what are you playing in this one?" And she said, "Oh, I'm playing the cymbals or something." And he said, "Well, I need you to play the shark fin." And she was like, "What?" And he comes up with this big cardboard shark fin. He wanted her to go around
Oh.
across the back of the stream with this shark going. And so she did. And then at the end, she said, "Would you like me to scream too?" And she had the most amazing scream. So this was like, the audience is just listening to all this stuff. And then we get into the Jaws thing, and then the shark starts going and scream. I mean, we all laughed for so long. It was a big break in the piece.
It would be hard to play the flute with that on.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so I
Oh,
know the theme from Jaws quite well, having just played it, but I don't
Yeah.
want to see the movie.
watch An Accidental Tourist. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I might like that. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you both. Can you think of any other movies or no?
Oh, well, I mean, some of those we've seen that I liked, I would always recommend. Bernie, I loved Bernie. Have you
Oh,
Oh
seen that?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. See, that's how it goes. All of a sudden you remember, oh yeah, that was great. Have
yeah,
you seen that one?
is that the one
That's
with the nice man who does he murder his?
yes, yes, and
Oh,
Shirley MacLaine.
yeah, okay.
Yes,
the nice murderer. Yeah,
yeah,
the
Yeah,
nice
yeah, yeah.
murderer. Yeah.
I forgot his name. Jack Black, right? Jack Black.
Jack Black.
yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I watched it a while. I love that movie, but I think part of that movie is Jack Black is such a likable guy.
Yes, he is in
He,
that, certainly.
if it was if they cast the wrong person, the movie would not have worked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so, have you seen the Before trilogy? Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight. It's the movie. It was done by Richard Linklater. It's a romance.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
And he made the movie every 8 years or 9 years. So you
Oh,
see, so the first movie Before Sunrise, this this couple meet, this American and this French girl meet, and the train, and they decide to spend a day in Austria, and they fall in love. And at the end of the movie, well, I'll spoil the movie. At the end of the movie, they said, okay, we'll meet here again in about 6 months. The next movie Before Sunset, they it's 8 years later, and so you see the actors, they're visually 8 years
I've
older,
aged 8 years.
8 years and stuff, and they meet in a bookstore. He just published a book based on the experience of that one night 8 years ago, and
Hmm.
I don't want to spoil that plot, but
No,
and then
don't
before.
spoil it. That
Yeah,
sounds
and then Before
interesting. Yeah.
Midnight is the 8 years after the couple, 8 years later and stuff.
Mhm.
you know I recommend that one, but that's a trilogy and stuff,
Yeah.
so I don't, if I would have to recommend all three movies and stuff, and I don't know if that's so okay, but okay, so that's my other thing, but I would say that's a more of a romance. We don't have that many romances, right?
No, because there's got to be some tension. Well, some real tension. I don't know that we do that many romances, but
Okay,
We
okay,
must have done some, but
um,
yeah,
I mean, I feel like, back to that issue about faith issues that, really in almost any movie, there is maybe not in a big shoot 'em up kind of thing or whatever, but in most thoughtful movies, there is tension and resolution and growth and all that. So you don't have to, you don't exclude too many movies because they don't have faith issues, because there
yeah,
usually is.
well, and we have a pretty broad definition of faith issues.
Yeah,
A lot of it is ethical issues
yeah,
yeah,
and transformation and loyalty,
yeah,
and we're pretty broad.
yeah,
yeah,
okay,
or just, yeah. Well, we're talking about these days, but a lot of them have been movies where people had to make a decision about how to behave in a
yeah.
certain situation.
Hmm. Another one that was a sleeper to me is The Rider. Mary Alice, there again. She was
Oh
the one who
yeah.
brought it to us. Boy, I
Oh, that
really
was
liked that.
the Native American. Was it
Well,
Native
it was
American?
a family of rodeo people,
Oh, okay.
as I
Oh,
recall. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah.
I've never heard that one and stuff, so
ah, look,
okay.
take a look at it.
Yeah, yeah. I think I tried to push Four Weddings and a Funeral, but I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah,
think of any faith issues in that movie, but I just did it anyway because somebody
just
wanted a
fun.
romantic comedy and stuff. But
Yeah,
I have
that's
to admit, I can't really think of it takes place, a couple of the weddings take place in the church. That was the only thing I could think of.
that's a stretch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
weddings and funerals, that's faith.
yeah, but
Yeah.
for the Before trilogy, it's love over time. How from infatuation to older, when you hit your 30s, love is very different than when you're in your 20s, and then when you're in your 40s, love is very different, just because life experience changes how you experience love, I guess, and stuff.
Well,
So
we have had two movies about um, couples, and at least one of them is true,
Oh,
where the wife, I think it's both cases, the wife gets desperately ill.
yeah.
And
Right.
um,
Yeah.
let's see,
Well, there was the one
one was, um,
that talked about the role of music
yeah, one
because
was
she had
Oh, that's the one with
Alzheimer's.
John Batiste,
yeah,
and his
Oh,
yeah.
and John Batiste, yeah,
I
American
love that
Symphony.
movie. I
Yeah.
thought it was
that's
great.
American Symphony. But
Yeah.
then there was another one where the only problem with it was so much cursing. It was
Oh.
the movie, except for that, if they just take out every other word. What was that one?
I don't
I'll
know.
look it up.
Okay, yeah. I'm
But
just trying to think of an argument to make for recommending the Before trilogy. I think some of the movies I want, I have to think, gosh, like Four Weddings, I have to admit, there are really no faith issues in that movie that I can think of. But I think that's the thing with the romances and stuff. It's just relationship, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. Well, okay. Well, thank you both. If you can't think of any more movies and stuff, we have 4 minutes and 50 seconds left for
oh,
this talk and stuff. But thank you both and stuff. I think just from this talk, I can tell you both, the film group has given instilled in you a deep love of movies and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So many hidden treasures that I never would have known about.
Yeah, yeah. Even I've only been in this group, I guess maybe 2 years now and stuff. But a lot of the movies like Tar, I never would have
Yeah.
watched Tar and stuff
Uh-huh.
unless
Well,
mhm.
I would never have watched Dirty Pretty Things, I can guarantee you. But we did.
Okay. Yeah. If I can find a way of getting us to see My Life as a Dog and stuff, I think I'm hoping you'll like that one and stuff.
Figure
That
out
one.
Well,
some
you
big
can
vacation.
usually just Google how to watch My Life as a Dog or something, and it comes up with
Yeah, yeah,
suggestions, which may or may not be real, but they're places to start.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
Because
also,
sometimes it changes. Things are on just one platform for a while and then they go away. But
Okay, but
that's what I do.
I will not do any Quentin Tarantino movies now that.
Good, good.
there is
Oh,
also a couple down at Pilgrim Place, or whatever it is in
Hmm.
um, near Pasadena,
yeah.
Pasadena
that,
or
uh,
Claremont, maybe.
yeah, Claremont. And they have a website that's huge.
Oh,
Their mission in life is to sort of watch films and probably other artistic expressions
yeah.
and review them from a, a spiritual perspective. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
spiritual practicality or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, yeah.
practical spirituality.
What is it?
I think it's practical spirituality. It's the
Okay,
other
there
way
you
around.
go.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So you just any
yeah,
film, you might try them and see what they have
yeah.
found.
Because they come up with a list of, I don't know, several dozen films every year, like the
Oh
most
yeah.
spiritually literate films of 2024 or whatever. And it's kind of
Oh,
surprising sometimes what's on their lists.
Yeah, exactly.
okay. Okay, I'll take a look and stuff. I'm always interested in finding new movies and stuff. So yeah,
There's
okay. So
plenty out there.
oh, okay. Well, thank you both and stuff. Yeah, we have 2 minutes left and stuff. But yeah, thank you both for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you for
Welcome.
arranging it and
Yeah,
sticking in there when we had to keep changing the dates.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. No, no, that's okay. With some of my other talks, I would have to reschedule 8 or 9 times and stuff. So,
Mm.
so
Things
I
For
can,
happen.
nothing, huh?
yeah. Well, I mean, like I'm always telling them is that, since my videos, I don't get paid for this. I don't get any profit for this. So this is just for fun and stuff. This isn't for, and this is just for me to get to know interesting people like you guys and stuff. So, so, okay. Well, thank you very much.